I stand by the fact that we're the best generation because of that. Ha, ha, ha. Prove me wrong.
Thank you, vets who saved Europe in World War II.
Yeah. Also, yeah, you guys 100%
Close
rocked.
second.
Yeah, very.
My name is Amanda Porter, and that...
Hi there. I'm Jeremy Birdsall.
Jeremy Birdsall.
The guy who sells the birds.
That's right.
Welsh for the pet store owner guy.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Jeremy, here's a thought I haven't inflicted on anybody yet.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Boz Scaggs. Of course you know Boz Scaggs.
I'm familiar.
Grammy winner.
Mm-hmm.
Big career peaked in mid to late 70s. Of course, Lido of Lido Shuffle fame. He's also the only musician I can think of whose name feels like it was pulled directly from the Star Wars universe. Boz Scaggs.
Yeah, right. Oh, for
I
sure.
remember Boz Scaggs,
Right.
bounty hunter.
Exactly.
I'm like, yeah, right? You could have... That
Oh, yeah.
feels like...
He could do a cameo as himself using his own name, and it would fit.
Yes.
It would be unchanged.
It's
Yeah.
just Django Fett, Boz Scaggs.
Why not? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. That's a, as the kids say, that's a deep pull.
That's
there,
a deep
man.
pull. I don't know where you go from that, but you know, take it from there. So, how you doing, man? I know that's a question.
Okay. Well, if we're going to do that, this is a timely show. I have spent the last more than a week and a half now, in the hospital with my father-in-law.
Yeah.
So he had a heart attack Easter Sunday morning. And this was such that my wife's family was, we're going to do Easter dinner, whatever. We're going to go to church together. We got this whole plan. And I was on the road with the Rocket Man Show, which is a band that I play with, Elton John tribute show. And so they were planning flights. I got to fly home Easter Sunday morning. And it happens that I'm on the plane about to take off at like 7 a.m. and I get a text from my wife. My dad's in the hospital. So instead of flying home to go to church and then go, eat some ham and whatever, I flew home and picked her up and went to the hospital, and we've basically been there for 10 days. So yeah.
Wow.
Let's put things in perspective, man.
I
for
guess
sure.
it does, man. And yeah. Wow. And
so the short answer is it started off real bad, and it's at this point he's recovering and he's got all the tubes out. But yeah, there was a point where he was essentially in a medically induced coma, and we did not know what was going on or if he was coming out of it. And that really, really makes you consider a lot of things when you have somebody that you thought was in pretty good health, and now you're planning their funeral. It really...
your whole world, all of a sudden, it just narrows.
Yeah.
And then everything else is background noise.
Yeah,
like
literally.
literally nothing else matters except this person who is going through this medical thing and this person you love more than life itself. And you're like, what? I can't do anything about this. What can I do to help my wife through these extraordinary times?
Exactly.
And having gone through that, I get that that's a unique road that I guess everybody has to go through eventually, but it doesn't make it any easier just because it's a universal kind of experience.
Yeah, right, exactly. And it's not a thing that you want to talk about. It's not fun to talk about. But then something like this happens and it's kind of like forced upon you and you're like, oh, yeah, right. Memento mori. Remember that we all are gonna die. So the good news is I think my father-in-law's in really good shape and he's not gonna die today. So that's kind of great. But then that's a whole roller coaster of its own too, right?
Right. I know.
Because, like I said, we were literally like, I wonder if we can get Paul to sing at his funeral, and like we're planning the funeral, and then now it's like, gosh, I wonder when he might be back up for mowing the grass, or if we're gonna have the nephews do that still for a while. Like, this is
such swings,
emotional roller coaster, and it's a great place to be in today because he's still in the hospital, but he's stable and doing a lot better, and it's like doing the physical therapy, and eating on his own, and all the tubes are out, and it's great, but it's like a lot. It's just a lot to process and handle and whatever. So
yeah.
Anyways, that's what I've been doing. Woo!
Whee!
Yeah.
Wow.
And I know that's a world you've gone through as well, so
Yeah.
how it be. If I could use that to segue into the big idea that I had today. Okay, so on one level, those of us who are watching, the 7 of you, hi Mom. Matthew and I are nearly the same age. Our birthdays are like maybe 6 weeks apart or something like that. Is it? We're pretty close in age.
We're both 39 years old.
Exactly.
It's amazing. The power of clean living.
Wow. You're just okay. That's a lie. We are Gen X. We're not millennials. No. X for life. So that kind of ties into what I was going to talk about. So we can riff on that for a second. If you don't know us, we are of a certain age, and we are familiar with pop culture of a certain age, and particularly fond of.
We opened with the Boss Skaggs reference, so you do the math.
Yeah. Captain and Tennille, anybody? No? All right.
Seals and Croft? No? Okay.
Seals. Oh, man.
Rest in peace to whichever. Yeah.
To whichever. Wow.
Well,
rude,
one passed.
Rude.
I want credit. I have a 50. Seals or Croft passed in the last week or so. I'm dialed into the zeitgeist 98%. I'm not going to sweat.
No, you can't.
I'm not going to take a penalty on that one.
There's too much going on. No, it's coming at you fast. Right. So anyways, yeah, we're Gen X folks, and so the whole latchkey kid thing, whatever, we grew up in an era of rugged individualism and survivalist mindset, and figuring stuff out the hard way, and that whole thing. Going outside, drinking out the water hose, it's all good. And I stand by the fact that we're the best generation because of that. Ha, ha, ha. Prove me wrong. But anyways, all of that
By the way, thank you, vets, who saved Europe in World War II.
Yeah. Also, you guys 100%
close
rocked.
Second.
Yeah, very. Yeah, no, that's fair. You're 100% right. That's fair. That's true. But it just makes me think of something that, and this phrase has been thrown around two different ways, and I kind of like both, and I just want to throw it to you and see what you think. One of them is, no one is coming to save you, and which is kind of a negative way to say it. And then here's a slightly more positive reframing, which is, we are the ones we've been waiting for.
Intriguing. Unpack that, Jeremy.
Oh, I love it. Oh, you just did the Steve Brown turnaround on me. Sounds great. You tell me what you think. Right. So, So the tying it in the Gen X thing is, if you are a latchkey kid and you come home from school and dad's working and mom is also working or whatever, just basically you're home by yourself, you might got to figure out how to make the Kraft macaroni and cheese yourself because nobody else is there to do it for you. So no one is coming to save you. No one's going to do it for you. So if you want to eat, you figure out how to do it. But yeah, I guess to me, I've lived like that for my whole life. And I had a thought this week as I'm sitting in the hospital that I think there's a lot of areas in my life where I'm 100% like, yeah, I could do it. And if I can't, I'm going to figure it out. And it's who I am and what I do.
Yeah.
But then there's a couple of areas I've kind of been, I don't want to say blissfully ignorant, but just kind of like I gave that mindset a pass, and I realized, wow, no one's coming to save me except for this one little area where I totally believe someone else is going to do this for me. Well, no, that's daft. So anyways, for me, and this is me being straight up real and raw, no one is coming to save me. I'm going to start a business and figure out how to run my business and hire people and fire people and do my taxes and grow in sales and marketing, and all that's great. Emotional intelligence and how to lead people in a positive and growth mindset way. Oh, well, whatever. Someone else will figure that out. Nope, that's part of the package too.
Yeah.
Right? So I guess what I'm starting to realize is I do firmly still believe in this idea of, what's the word? Extreme ownership, of taking responsibility of all these areas. And I guess I'm being vulnerable here and saying, I believe that, except I realized I wasn't actually living that in a couple of areas of my life. I'm like, actually, maybe I should own that too. And be like, yeah, no one's coming to save me there. I need to learn how to be nice to people if I want them to, listen to my nonsense. Back to you, Matthew.
This is, I immediately, when I hear those phrases, that kind of Gen X DIY just kind of rises up, and you're like,
for sure.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
We'll do this. And the older I get, the more I mentally kind of seem to be gravitating more towards a stoic kind of outlook.
Yeah.
Not wholesale. I mean, that's a whole kind of cottage industry of stoicism and everything.
Yeah.
But this idea of something went wrong. Now, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And I believe in that. I experienced it this week. Had a kid who had to find notes for a test, and it got misplaced, possibly thrown away. We don't know.
Oh, shoot.
A lot of big feelings, and just had this moment of like, let's work the problem. It's probably in this gigantic pile. Is that what I'm hearing? Yes. What we need to do is start going through this pile.
Yeah, right.
And we did, and there it is. Wow. Okay. All right. We had a problem. We didn't make the problem worse by flipping out. At the same time, you need to feel your feelings, so it's kind of a tension there. Here is a counterpoint to nobody's coming to save you. I love that. But not going so far as nobody can help you.
Yes, that is very true.
Because there comes an end where my experience ends and somebody else's experience begins, and not that they're going to save you, but it's no slight to me or nothing wrong to go, I need to lean in. Can you lend your expertise here? Whether that's somebody I know or whether that's some knowledge I'm seeking from a video or some course or something or other.
Yeah.
But that kind of resilience that you're talking about is, I'll put my signature on there. That's a quality that has to be learned. One of my kids this weekend was asking, what's a generation? Literally conversation. I'm like, okay, there's two ways to look at it. There's generation like your grandfather's a generation, then I was the next generation.
Right, yeah.
That's one way of thinking about it. Every time there's another kid, that's a new generation.
Yeah.
And then talking about the generational cohorts, and he's like, oh gosh, what did I? I'm driving him somewhere, and he's like, could I jump out of the car? Could I survive? I'm like, too bad, you asked the wrong question. Daddy's having a TED Talk. So we talk about,
we're into it now,
yeah,
kid.
it's tough. And so we talked about Gen Z, millennials.
Yeah.
Gen X, all these kind of things, and that it's everybody keeps thinking, oh, at this year it's going to flip over to a new generation. I'm like, that's not how it works. You kind of get a little bit down the road to look back and see these cultural phenomena is like the latchkey kids, like you said. it's not just from, early mid 60s to late 70s. It's not random. It's things like social phenomena.
Yeah.
Baby boomers.
So
that's from an actual thing.
There was an actual thing that happened, but yeah, looking back, you can sort of define it by a year. All right, so now you just did it to me, right? Now I've got a whole lot. Have you read the book The Fourth Turning?
No, heard of it.
Are you familiar? Ish. No,
just start me from scratch. I'm just
moly.
looking for partial credit.
No,
I heard of it.
Yeah, well, so
I made it up.
Exactly. Gotcha.
Got me. Jeremy
Wrong.
1 point, Matthew 0.
Ha. So, I was told about this book and got into it, and it fulfilled every hope and dream I had of it. It's basically just a history book, so I don't want to overhype it. It's a history book. It's also pretty heady. It's written like a college textbook, like it uses adult big kid words. But the content was like right up my alley, which is to say it's about the generations. And it's to say that, sure, a generation is ish, 15, 20 years ish. It's not super important that it's exactly that piece of math, but it is always around that.
Yeah.
Right?
Not less than that.
Right.
It's not generation 5 years. That's not how it works.
No. It's
That's why the Zennials are like, we're kind of part this, part that. I'm like, that's the most millennial thing I've ever heard. Stop trying to be special.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
In a couple of years, you'll have locked into one to the other, and that's okay. We know that.
We closed the door on Gen X. Sorry.
Yeah. You
I'm
cannot.
really sorry.
You shan't. You can't.
Yes.
So the idea of this book, The Fourth Turning, is basically documented through recorded history, and this is how serious these guys are, is that there are essentially 4 generations and they repeat.
Types, yeah.
And one great way to kind of present it is, have you heard the phrase, strong men create good times create weak men create bad times create strong men?
Yes, right.
Right. That is literally the pattern. They're saying those 4 things is what happens throughout every society that we have ever documented. Is you got a good thing going, and then you get fat and you get lazy, you don't appreciate it, then you rebel against it, and it all goes down in flames, and then someone has to rise from the ashes and be like, we can fix this, put out the fires and rebuild. And then you do, and then your kids mess it up. Yeah. And it keeps going over and over. So at first you're like, well, that sounds cool, but then do a little mathery, right? What happened about 80 years ago?
I was told there would be no math
I
in
know.
this episode.
World War II.
World War II.
Was
That's
that an
right.
important event? Well, you just sort of mentioned about the greatest generation actually doing
Greatest generation, back-to-back World War champs.
Pew, pew.
Undefeated.
So that was an important thing that happened. What happened about 80 years before World War Deuce?
80, 40, 1840s trains.
Do that math again, kid.
1840s?
I love you, but come on, man.
Wait,
1940 minus 80. Come on, you can
Hold
do
on.
it. You can do it.
1860s.
What happened then?
Civil War.
There you go.
Oh, okay. So
that
now
was an important thing.
Right.
Oh, here he
All
goes.
right,
Here he
so
goes.
I'm jumping ahead of the curve here.
Okay, good.
1940
Yeah.
plus 80. Carry the 2. All right, continue.
Got it. Now go back from there. Civil War. What happened about 80 years before the Civil War?
That would be the Byzantine Empire, right? No, I might be wrong.
The Revolutionary War?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah, maybe America. So you start looking at that, you're like, wow, even just in our American history, which is not that long, you can see that is shockingly consistent.
Yeah, there's... Yes, and Carl Kristman, who we've had on the show before, he talks about this all the time, that this 80-year increment can't be ignored. And
So he's totally read this book then.
Yes. Oh, no, he has. That's where I've heard it from. So, yeah, it's, you want to think, no, we're, modern, blah, blah, blah. You're like, there is a tidal cycle.
So that is to say, the Gen X latchkey kid individualism, bootstrappy, whatever. Yes, I flex that because I lived that and I found myself identifying that. But in reading that book, I was like, oh, right, we're not the onlyest ones.
Right.
There was another generation.
We've had a proto-Gen X
Correct.
prior.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly. And that was like, right, okay, cool. So, I do feel these feelings because I lived this way, but other people have had this exact experience.
Yeah.
Centuries ago. It's kind of interesting to look at it that way. But that means we're what's the word? Due. We're due for one.
Yeah.
And yeehaw.
Yeah. there's a book, I think it's The Millionaire Next Door, one of those.
Oh yeah.
He did really in-depth study of millionaires, not based on stereotypes of swimming in vaults of gold coins and
Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, not Scrooge McDuck. And
Gen X reference. The millennials will get it too.
Woohoo! And the vast majority are self-made millionaires. They didn't inherit it. A lot of them are first-generation American and worked really hard.
Bootstrappy folks.
Yeah, just it's not the privileged, scion kind of thing.
Yeah.
You take that. So you take a first-generation millionaire, which any more millionaire? What's a millionaire with the inflation and everything? But the second generation, okay, they inherit it. And they kind of hold on to it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Third generation, they inherit something and it's kind of gone. They take it as a given.
Sure, they don't really understand
that this money is there.
Those are the trust fund kids, basically.
Yeah, the money has somewhat passed on. The qualities that got that money are not passed on to the same degree.
Yeah,
and you learn it eventually. You're like, oh, money. I have money. And you're like, go back.
Yeah, right.
Study the choices your grandparents made that got them here. And it seems unavoidable. I don't mean to be fatalistic, but it seems like I don't know, enjoy it while you can. But it is cyclical, which is kind of encouraging in a weird kind of way.
Yeah, right. While nobody is coming to save you, you also can look in the past and say, well, how did people before me who were in very similar situations, what did they do? How did they handle that? What can I glean from that? And also, by the way, I liked what you said too about looking for help and not just being like, I am the only one who can do this, but to acknowledge it is my responsibility to deal with this and figure this out.
Yeah.
But if I'm out of my depth, the answer is I'm not just going to sit here and have a pity party. I can take a minute to acknowledge that and be like, all right, well, I'm out of my depth. But now what? Now what am I going to do about that? And that's kind of like what you did with your kid. It's like, right, okay, this is bad. What are we going to do about this? Oh, well, let's try this. It's a process. It might take a minute, but let's just see what happens. And then, hey, look.
Yeah.
We figured it out.
on Steve Brown, et cetera, I don't know, a year or so ago, maybe more than that. Guy wrote a book addressing this idea of God will never give you more than you can handle. And you're like, let's look at that theologically. I don't think it holds up.
Right. As a matter of fact,
there's a lot of folks we could go talk to, hop in the time machine. They're like, no, we got more than we could handle.
Yeah.
And this is what this came into play recently because our oldest two are sophomore and juniors in high school. And this is getting to where the age where you have a lot of stuff converging of school is amping up. Your social activities are amping up. Understanding what's happening with your emotions and it just converges, and you're staying up till I remember that staying up till 1 a.m. trying to get everything done, and I found myself praying. I'm like, all right, don't let them be overwhelmed. I'm like, no, there's an important lesson of you need to be overwhelmed. at times and come to a point where you're like, I don't got it. I need you, God, to carry me through this.
Right.
If you're still just trying to fight it in your own, again, we want that quality of I'm going to just grit it out and harden that kind of quality of determination. But there's also a room for surrender to go,
yeah,
I feel like I'm reaching in the magic hat for something and coming up with nothing.
Right.
I need you, God. I need to come to the end of myself.
Right.
So that I can feel that I am weak and you are strong, and I, must decrease and you must increase.
Right.
Dude, it got churchy up in here.
Wow.
Yo.
Way to go, Matthew Porter.
Please bow your heads with me, and we're going to play all 17 verses of Just As I Am.
Nice. Well, yeah, it's I think, to me, the way I would interpret that is like, I know that this, whatever this is my responsibility and my problem, whatever, and I'm now out of ideas, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not relinquishing that responsibility. Wouldn't that be nice? But I know that's not it, but I don't know what else to do. So there definitely comes a point, and that's not giving up.
Right,
It's
not giving up.
Surrender. I like that. It's saying, well, this is still my problem, but I'm out of ideas. God, I could really use something here.
Right. And in a perfect world, we don't wait until things are absolutely head on fire to go, I guess I could talk to God about this. All right. So,
Wow.
But
Wow.
yeah, that's a really...
It never happens to
You
me.
bring a... I know. Ooh, got a little real.
What is it, Tuesday?
Hey.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah, I like it.
sorry about that. That's just what I was thinking about today.
I like it. No, speaking of Gen X, I had a Gen X moment unexpectedly last week. We went on a field trip with the 5th grade class to Kennedy Space Center.
Awesome.
It's way cooler than the last time I went there, right?
Huh.
Or I just don't remember.
Wow.
Or maybe it was lame, and then it was cool. But it was so awesome. I mean,
Really?
You've got to check it out. But there's one. This is a spoiler. There's a thing called a shuttle experience. Like, if you're gonna go next week, don't listen to this next 5 minutes. So you go into a room, and this big cavernous room, and this gigantic screen, and it's going through the process of how the shuttle was imagined in the late 60s and evolved through the 70s, and then they put this thing together and they launched it. And so they've got actual footage and audio of a shuttle going up and then coming back down, re-entry, and the music is swelling and it's super loud, and the thing is landing, and the music is crescendoing, and all of a sudden you're welcome home, Atlantis. And the video stops, and all of a sudden you see through the screen to the Atlantis shuttle.
Wow.
In the next room, facing at you, eye level, at an angle. I'm getting just goosebumps right now, man.
Wow.
They nailed it.
Wow.
Museums can be so dry and lame,
Yeah.
and they just put emotion into this thing.
Wow.
And for a Gen X kid who grew up watching the shuttle launches
all through the 80s.
in Central
Oh my
Florida,
gosh,
we watched them
Oh, yeah.
take off at night, and we would hear the boom on re-entry. So the shuttle is like a special kind of part of, growing up years, close to your heart.
Yep.
And then you are literally 50 yards away from the nose cone.
That's awesome.
It's so, and then you walk through, and you're like, you're 20 feet away from the shuttle. It was so cool.
Wow.
I did not see that coming, and I thought just such a nice touch and attention to storytelling.
Yeah.
The holistic.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the information. You're like, information's great. It's great, but connect to the emotions, and boy, they just crushed it. It was awesome.
Well, now I know what I'm going to try to do in the next couple of
It's
weeks. I gotta
pretty rad.
gotta check that out.
Yeah, man. It was totally
This
awesome.
episode is brought to you by the Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah, can we get the sponsorship here? Call us.
A subsidiary of the Flat Earth Society.
all around the world. Wait, no. Oh.
Oh, man. Oh, we're going to get phone calls now. Can I pivot this to my moment of AI?
Yes.
This one
of science
was complicated. I'm not gonna read it like I normally would. I'm gonna try to sum it up and see if I know what it meant. Okay, so this ties into music. Those of you who don't know, I play the music, record the music, write it and record it, release it. I have put things on the Spotify and other streaming sites in the past, and I read this yesterday, and I was flabbergasted about how angry it made me, and also made me want to try it.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
You may be familiar with the news story that came out, a few months ago, about the guy who he basically did an AI song and released it, and then he had a bunch of bots stream it. So and then he made like millions of dollars, and it was flagged real quick by Spotify because they're like, well, this is a lot of activity, and then they dug into it and realized they were just bots. So they pulled it and they, charged him with something and with some kind of fraud, right? So a lot of the music people were like, well, that's, good, that's bad. Well, I just saw this AI thing that said, okay, yep, that's bad. Watch this. Here's the next level of that fraud 2.0. You go to Suno, you write an AI song. Yeah. You write a song. You release said song. But he said, but imagine it like this. You don't do that. You create an AI agent, if you're familiar with an AI agent, which is you specifically task your AI daily to do this one thing. You have an AI agent that goes to Suno, writes the song. So the AI agent writes it, releases it on Spotify or whatever site. You have another AI agent who independently creates an account, logs in, listens to the song, streams it, likes it, comments it, subscribes to your nonsense. We are not prepared to call that a bot, as it is not a bot. It is an AI agent that functions like a person. I'm twitching how angry this makes me, and yet I'm taking notes going, I wonder how I can.
How do we use this for our good?
Exactly. Right. It's the ring of power. How can?
It's so true, right?
That's exactly what it is. But I'm not going to use it for evil.
It's so true. I got to catch my breath on it.
So take a second and smoke on that for be like, what kind of world are we in now? Yeah, where we've all said, oh, yeah, you're not going to be able to know what you hear or see is real. Well, yeah, but imagine that. You can't even detect this activity as not a human activity.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good times.
And it seems like so many things we talk about circles back to politics. You're like, that's it kind of in a nutshell. You're like, oh, we don't want the government to be super powerful, but listen, we don't want them to be super powerful. We should be super powerful, and then we'll use that power for good.
You're right. Yeah, that.
Because that's happened ever?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
You gotta throw the ring in Mordor, son.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
that's exactly right.
It's just, that's it. It's not good, man. It's like fame. I don't think humans were supposed to be adored and worshipped en masse. It does weird stuff to us. And it's not a slight to the people who lose their minds, who get famous. We weren't supposed to be worshipped like that. It does weird stuff to us. If you got to be Sabrina Carpenter famous, if I got to be, we would be weird, dude.
Yeah.
You're like, drugs? Yes, please. It's just, it's not power that we were I don't think we were supposed to be. Very few people can handle that. We just did an interview with the daughter of Billy Graham.
Yeah.
1 in a billion of somebody who got worldwide attention. And best we know, he wasn't drowning kittens or anything or doing.
Yeah,
he
right.
was, you know,
There's not any scandal associated with him.
Yeah. But golly, that's the exception to the rule.
Boy, it's really the truth. I don't really have any response to that.
But I could do it.
But yeah.
Got the lottery. We could do it. I'm going to give you a high five on it. Just trust me. I got this. Give me the ball, coach. Narrator. But I couldn't.
But then Matthew didn't got it.
No, we didn't. It was after that he OD'd very quickly. So quickly, no one saw it coming.
Wow.
Huh. This is we've covered some ground.
I appreciate you letting me handle all these topics.
I love it.
I had a few, so
I love
here
it.
we are.
I do have a little moment of rad. And before that, they go along with this theme that we didn't plan on of kind of science. But Key Life first, props to keylife.org. Go check that out. We interviewed on our talk radio show a guy named Michael Gillen.
Yeah.
Recently.
Boy, he was
blew up.
Yeah.
Really just went viral for us. And he's a scientist guy who, I don't know, among other things, hung with Carl Sagan. Just throwing that out there for cred. And he was an atheist. Didn't hate the idea of God, just functionally, like, I don't think it's true. And he has this incredible story of just pursuing the truth. Just, I want the facts. I want the truth. And he just went as far as science would take him. And he's like, I feel like there's something else. So his whole story was just beautiful, organic way of arriving at believing there's a God, but then going deeper to go, not just a God, which is 99% of the world, but going, I think the Christian God, the Bible, this stuff is true. It investigated it. Didn't just take it at face value. And had this just cool story and just like a great storyteller. So, check that out. It's still up there on the YouTubes and everything. Okay, so moment of rad. Also in this science thing, I don't know if it's Artemis 2, we just kind of in that.
You're inspired.
I am, man. I have been fascinated by the Apollo era stuff forever. I mean, it's been in scripts I've written. It's just kind of this little thing dribbled in or whatever.
Yeah.
Just the guts of those guys. It's just amazing. You're like, let's get the smartest sciencey scientists and these just daredevil cowboy test pilots.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's cross the streams. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Going to the moon.
Yeah. Why not?
With the technology that is in a calculator. You look at the tech and you're like, you are kidding me.
Right.
Let's just put these guys in a tin can and
see what happens. Woo.
It could work. Yeah. Yeah. So this is from an article called Breaking the Rules to Get to the Moon. Not everybody knows this little backstory. So the Apollo 11 mission obviously serves as a model of precision and timing and teamwork. We know this. But it might not have happened if someone had not broken the rules in a big way. And that person's name is Dick Day. So in the early 60s, Dick Day served as an assistant head of the flight crew operations and encouraged Neil Armstrong to apply to this program that was coming together. So he did apply, but his application arrived late, a week past the deadline. So this guy, Dick Day...
Wow, I know where this is going.
Looks at all the things, and it got there. It shouldn't be counted because a deadline's a deadline. But he knew Armstrong. He knew he was uniquely suited, and so he's looking at all the things. He's like, maybe your application did get here on time.
Right. Approved.
So he spoke to it. He goes, I really don't know why Neil delayed his application, but he did. And all the applications came to me since I was the head of the flight crew training. But he had done so many things well at Edwards. he was so far and away the best qualified, more than any other, certainly as compared to the first group of astronauts. So Dick Day did not follow the rules, or he followed the spirit of the rule. He did not follow the letter. And that appeals to me so deeply as somebody who's like, I'm not 100% fan of following the letter of the law. I try to follow the spirit of the law, but you're remembered for the rules you break. So I have always loved. It's just so punk rock, man. I just love that story. So I'm like, okay, I got to bring that to for moment of rap.
I love it. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I try to tell that story to the kiddos, but it's like that's a real Conveying that idea to teenagers is like, gosh, this may be more of an early mid-20s conversation.
Yeah.
Break the rules. Like, hold on. That's not what Daddy just said. But kind of.
Yeah, that's tricky. Maybe baby steps. We dole that one out little chunks. Yeah,
that's it. Awesome. I don't know. Feels like a show?
I think so.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
We have ignition. John is making his way to the board. Armed. System is armed.